that I have to leave 10 minutes before 1. Unfortunately, I have to travel to Slovakia, so.
Okay, we're definitely going to wrap this up. Let's hope to shoot for, by 10 of then, because we need everyone here. Tom has to go too. So without any further ado, let me get started. Welcome everybody to our XCOM meeting for the month of September. It's great to see so many of you, especially Aishan. I'm glad you're here as well. I'd like to start out with some points, and then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hand the control of the meeting over to anyone else who would like to add a point. Like Maria Teresa, we don't have a formal agenda today because we just all got back from vacation. So let's be flexible with each other this month, and we'll be more organized for October. So the first thing on my list for the agenda today is the idea that I put forward at the last meeting that I wanted to be 100% in person. And I've had some feedback from people saying, well, it's not really nice to those who can't come in, and can we just try at least till the end of the year? So I'd like to know what you all think. I'm going to mute myself, and please feel free to speak. Nicole, I'd like to ask you to go first too, because I know you had something to say as well, because you can't come in all the time. We'll go across. I see myself, then Nicole, then Maria Teresa, and then Inez.
Okay, personally, I am for keeping the hybrid meetings, well, for personal reasons to start with, but not only. I see that we've had a request from somebody from India, for instance. I would also like to try and keep in touch with people from the OSCE, and try and get them maybe to attend our meetings, and I doubt they will come because it's, going back and forth takes a lot of time. So these are my reasons to be for hybrid meetings.
Thank you. Maria Teresa, your opinion?
Well, my opinion, I think it's a bit premature to do in-person meetings, particularly considering the fact that we don't even know here within Austria what sort of shape we're going to be in. There are all kinds of rumors of lockdown, so I think we ought to be exceedingly careful. I'm not sure if we should say until the end of the year, but I would just say maybe until further notice. I personally would love to see an in-person meeting, but I think that's unrealistic at the moment. The only problem is, Melanie, you announced it at the last meeting. So we're going to have to, it's on Easy Speak as a hybrid, but, people might be confused.
That's why
Would you like me to put something in the invitation to the meeting that's specified?
When you send out the invitation, we'll stay hybrid. You know me, I'm completely flexible. I just want to encourage people to come face to face, because for me, Toastmasters is about seeing you all, because online I'm looking at this. In order to look at you, I'm looking at the camera, but when I look at you, I'm all over the place. I see the films of myself, so I don't get the practice I want to get of public speaking, but I have to be very flexible and think of all the other members. So I agreed to do hybrid, because I know Lily had mentioned as well that she wanted to say hybrid when I had sent Tom and her something about getting a discount for Zoom meetings. So Inez, I'd like to hear your opinion, and then we'll just, when you send out the invitation, Maria Teresa, you'll go ahead and say it's still hybrid. Inez?
Thank you. I think we have not taken a decision yet, so we should not change the invitation, I thought. I feel face-to-face meetings, yes, it is important to really go for it. Of course, it will be very inconvenient. I'm very much aware of it to a couple of people. But last time, I think I've done 3 meetings in the VIC, and I have seen that it causes so much stress and I think the quality of the meetings are also different when we are going hybrid. And the second thing is, and I know Maria Teresa has clearly voiced it as well, there is a disconnection, a feeling of being disconnected. And actually, in a meeting like this, which we have every 2 weeks, we really need to get connected again. and we have to make an effort in one way or the other. Maybe we could do it in the afternoon, in the evening, or time-wise, we could look at possibilities, but I really feel that it's putting a lot of strains, a lot of stress on people. And we don't really have.
I like that, Ines. I like the way you said, let's get connected. Would you all like to propose that maybe, I mean, it's just even more confusing. We could take a vote, but what about the idea of doing a face-to-face meeting the first Tuesday of the month, or the second Tuesday of the month, and then is it the fourth that we get together? That it's only online. I mean, I don't know what to say, because
we have to find
it's stressful and I have no backup. You know, Aishan comes and helps me, and then sometimes Tom does. I don't even work in the VIC. So I make an effort to get there. I have to beg my boss to let me go in. And like you said, it's all about seeing each other. And if you can't make it, what did you do in the past? What did you do in the past if you couldn't get to a Toastmasters meeting twice a month? You missed it.
Can I add something to it as well?
Yes.
As I have been also part of some of the hybrid meetings, I have to say it is very, very stressful for people who are like Melanie, myself, a few other people that were there, because we had so many things to do at the same time. We had roles, but also there are a lot of technical stuff that we had to take the computer from one person to another, that I felt that I didn't get anything from those meetings, that I was just providing stuff, and I made so many mistakes with the timekeeping, and even, you know, because there were so many things to juggle. And I had the same discussion with one of the newer members, and they were like, it's really, they were younger, but they were like, it's really confusing, and it's I don't know how is it from the other side, whether you can hear as well, and whether, but I'm sure there are also some problems with technicalities, like when we move, when we do stuff, it is too loud for the other side. That's what I heard from other people. I don't know if it's the same for everybody. So I would definitely go for in-person meetings, maybe one Tuesday, maybe both Tuesdays we have it in person, and then that meeting that we have it, sometimes we have those meetings in the evening, right? I don't know if that's a regular thing or not. Once a month, maybe those we can make hybrid.
Or not hybrid, just completely on Zoom.
Or completely, sure,
instead of dragging this out for the next hour, I really want to hear from the XCOM, because all of you, your vote really counts. So why don't we make a vote?
Can I make a suggestion, Melanie? I think we should ask the members. I think we should maybe propose something, but I think it's up to the members. I mean, are people going to be prepared to come in? I think we should feel them out first.
There was more people in person at the last meeting than online, Maria Teresa.
Is it not that we, among ourselves, should have a clear picture what our policy is, and then suggest it to the members for a vote? But we, among ourselves, should have a clear picture of where do we want to go with in the future with the Toastmasters meetings.
I mean, I love the idea of being really in person one time and then full online the second time, and always at lunch, because of the fact that it's fair to both sides. And then if you come once a month, hey, it's still 50% presence. And I think you're right, Maria Teresa. We could send it out in the email for the next meeting and have an actual vote like you do for the table topics. That way, I could bring it up at the Hurricane evening. A lot of people are coming to that as well, but some are not actual good standing members. They're just going to visit for the, like, I think we may have a special guest come. Sunil said he may come. He's not a member anymore.
By the way, I just would like to
clear when the next meeting will be physical.
The 14th. 14th.
The 14th will be a physical meeting.
No, I'll do hybrid. I'll have to do hybrid because we didn't make a decision, and it's literally next week, so it's not fair. So I'm going to wing it hybrid one more time, and then at that meeting I'll say, okay, you can see how this is. I'm jumping, I'm moving a camera. So what do you suggest? And then you can write 3 things. Stay hybrid, only in person, only Zoom, or half the month, half the month. So it's actually.
I personally could live with one in-person meeting a month, but I think anything more. And Gordana, I think evening meetings, I mean, I think we're having enough trouble just with 2 meetings a month. I don't think we need an evening meeting.
It's difficult right now because we're not filling the roles. We have the members. I mean, our membership is strong from what I see. I mean, we're doing great. We got the distinguished award. So let's do this. Let's leave it at this. We're not going to, keep warming up the old soup. At the next meeting, when I do the business section, it's going to be a hybrid meeting. Maria Teresa will send out the invitation for the meeting as of, I guess, tomorrow. She's going to send it out, correct? Or Friday? I don't know how she likes to do it. And
I think maybe tomorrow is good. Well,
okay.
It's actually
Hybrid
on
meeting?
Easy Speak as hybrid if people would look.
Yeah, let's leave it hybrid. Let's leave it hybrid. And then at that meeting, I'm going to ask, along with the table topics, that whoever would send their votes to me and I'm going to prepare 4 options and really almost have it like a presentation. The hybrid, the in-person, the only virtual meetings, or half and half. And it will be announced every time. This is an in-person meeting. There will be no video capability except filming like we used to do. And then the next meeting would be we're all online like this. Then everybody gets something out of it. And we still got a discount and we paid till the end of the year, I think, for the Zoom membership. Are you all okay with that? Next meeting vote?
Okay, if I can add the reason, and I think maybe Eshan will agree with me there, the reason why it's so stressful to have hybrid meetings is because we're not equipped to have hybrid meetings. And the other thing is that because I've had hybrid meetings with other clubs and it works and it's not stressful at all, but they're better equipped or better organized. So it's a question of will. Where there's a will, there's a way. If there's no will to have hybrid meetings and the technical support to go with it, then it won't work. Another problem with us is that the room that we still have that we might not have, and that it's not a permanent room, and we might not want to, we might not be able to have the technical setup to make a hybrid meeting work. At least that's
the thing is, you have to understand, Nicole, we do have a room and it is equipped with the most top of the line equipment, but it belongs to the IAEA.
I know.
And we are a club and we are borrowing it. Tom brought something from Safeguards. We're using all the equipment for MTBF, which is Tristan's division. And I had to have the IT guys on their IAEA paid time come and help me. And that's really just not kosher. And the guy was there during his lunch break. And he only did it because he likes Tristan. And it's not that we don't want to do it, we do, but it's because Zoom isn't something that the agency has as a platform. We have to log out of the agency internet and go into guest internet. And so there's all these little things. We have a big firewall. Maybe people do it at their own home. They're able to do hybrid, or they have a restaurant that's not as firewall safety, this and that. Tom can maybe explain, or Sean.
Okay, so you're saying it's not technically, it's not viable in the VIC.
It is, but it's because it's, these rooms are set up for Polycam and for Microsoft.
I understand what you're saying. So
they're more for the, the what do you call them? The organizational platforms. And Zoom is kind of like this extra platform that's we're really not even supposed to use. But we can't use the agency's Polycam, which would be perfect. It's what they do when Cybersdorf staff wants to be in a meeting in headquarters. It's amazing. We even have Monaco. So we have the equipment, but it just.
But Melanie,
yeah.
Sorry, to just complete your words. Personally, also, I don't believe, because I'm coming from cybersecurity background, I don't believe it's good and safe for the IAEA that we use the club task with the IAEA connections, and also because this goes all through the firewall and the security of IAEA. So I don't believe that this is a good and safe, because last time we saw that in the meeting, during the meeting, one person connected to our meeting, which still we don't know who this guy was. And so I think this is not too much safe to use the equipment of another organization. So if we have money and budget, I can make a list of which kind of equipments we need, and we can use ours. And one person can be responsible for that. Every session can take it, because it's not too much. It's just one a webcam and a speaker and microphone.
Okay, that's an idea. We'll look into that. Why not? Aishan, I'm going to task you with that just to see what it would cost. And then we'll talk to Tom with Brigitte to see what our funds look like. So speaking of funds, let's move on to the next item. We're leaving the hybrid meeting / in-person meeting down to a vote. And then Aishan's action will be that he will see how much our own private equipment would cost. Item 2 is about the bank account. Tom would like to propose something to the ExCom before we make a decision. Tom, control is yours.
Thank you very much. We had a look at the account and how to move it over from one person to another, and it turned out it will be quite complicated. And on top of it, it cannot be done in-house, which is one of the main advantages of having the bank account with Bank Austria, that everything can be done at the VIC. Because we have a Vereinskonto, or actually we have a company account, we would need to go to some place and sign there. And having heard about this, we looked around, and I did dig out the old email that Mr. Breedy from Vicrec had sent around, and there's a nice offer from Erste Bank. Erste Bank, of course, is not on the premises, but they offer quite good conditions for a kind of personal account that would be, I guess, in the name of either the president or the treasurer, but still they can add the name of the club. And it's much more economic than one where you have right now. So I would actually propose that we move from Bank Austria to Erste Bank with our account.
I second this motion.
Yeah, I agree as well. A number of clubs in the VIC have done it already.
Okay.
Question, does that mean every year when the president changes, the account has to change, or how does that work?
This we need to find out. I guess they move it then from one person to another because it's a personal account. Yeah.
In the past, that wasn't possible, so we had to actually change the bank account. So that was, I mean, that's something you really should look at before you make the changes.
Okay. Okay.
The thing is, we were so blessed with Brigitte. You all know she 10 years was your treasurer. 10 years. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it used to be in the name of the various presidents, and she was the one constant signatory, and many of the presidents never became signatory. In 2012, I became the signatory, and I was co-signatory until just recently, and it was during my term that I changed the name of the account into the VIC Toastmasters Club, because it was in Caesar's name before me. Caesar as the president before me, or I don't know how many terms before me. So the account was actually in his name. And that was the way that it worked, that you had to have it in the name of a person. And yeah, I was happy that we had changed it into the name of the Verein. So I'm not sure on this research that Tom is talking about now about having not being able to change it in the VIC and those other changes, because the change that happened during my term was that they allowed us to have it in the name of the club, but after that, they said we have to be a registered Verein, which we are not, you know.
Yeah.
So they're stricter now, right, Tom? You want to explain?
Well, but from what I hear, it's basically the same, because the new account would be in the name of a person. So they stated right now in the beginning that if we are not a registered Verein, they cannot make it as Verein's account. It will be a personal account. And I guess we can decide whether it's in the name of the treasurer or in the name of the president.
Or the alternative is to actually do what they wanted us initially, to register a Verein in Austria. And then you have it in the name of the Verein, and you don't have to keep changing the account, but you change the signatories.
Of course, the Verein has to pay a dues to Austria.
It brings so much. If you have to register as a Verein, it brings so much bureaucracy. And that was the beauty of having a club in the VIC where you have actually a kind of immunity. Is it possible that we can have two signatories, that two people sign for this account?
Yeah, it is two people, but the point is you have to, every time the president changes, or one of the persons who's not on the signatories, you would have to actually change the account.
Yeah, but that's okay.
It is cumbersome, but like you always had said in your statutes, it should be a staff member. So that's the bonus, that you know you both work together. right? So I have no problem handing over the bank account to, if Tom stays as treasurer for 2 years and you know, a new president comes in next year, as long as they're a staff member, it's easy. We make a date. We have to do these. This is what we sign up for.
I mean, Tom's account, you can't, I don't think it's that easy to change the name of the account of a person into a completely new person's name.
You have to open another account.
Yeah.
You can't just
And if
change
you
the
keep
name.
changing the accounts, it means when you're doing the memberships and everything, you're changing that every year. That's why we really try to keep the, you know.
But excuse me,
Okay.
can we ask other clubs in Vienna what it means to be a Verein and whether it's so cumbersome or it's easy? Because the other clubs in Vienna are, the Toastmasters are Austrian clubs. Could we ask them what it entails and what?
I could ask another VIC club what they do. They're called the VIC Runners Club. And Nicole, maybe you can ask this French club that you belong to.
No,
And Maria Teresa,
the French
she knows
club.
a few other clubs.
No, but there's the German club. Maria Teresa also belongs to other clubs, which are not VIC clubs. And there's the German club, there's the English club. I mean Toastmasters. See how I can ask another club. I know another club, Toastmasters club in Vienna, and I know one of the person who is on the executive committee. I'm going to ask them what it entails, what they do, what they have to do with the Austrian authorities, and if it's very cumbersome or not. I can ask.
Yes, please. Cool.
Okay, so you realize though, in the meantime, when we have new members, what I'm doing is paying on my credit card, and I have to show Brigitte, and Brigitte is the only one that has access to the account, because I don't even know, Tom, you don't even have access to the account. So we have to make a decision pretty quick. Nicole, would you be able to write something for us by next week, what the other clubs do? Okay.
I mean, I was doing my payments with my credit card, and then Brigitte just reimbursed me on my credit card. That wasn't a problem for me. But
No, it's not a problem, but we're in between Brigitte and Tom. So that's the other issue. She really wants to stop doing it, but she can't switch the name of the bank account unless we go outside of the building to do it. And so we don't want to do that twice. So before we switch names, we make a decision.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so we'll have a decision maybe per email to everybody by next week. Next item on the list, Maria Teresa and all of you saw that email from a gentleman who's from District 98 who'd like to join one of our meetings. What do you all think about that? Any opinions?
It looks to me like he found us on the through the Toastmasters information pages, because I found him. He's a DTM and he's a member of about 5 or 6 different clubs, and I just don't know how he got Maria Teresa's email.
Anybody want to have a comment of if we should allow complete strangers? I mean, even if they are from other clubs,
And our description says that we have online meetings which are open. It says that the in-person meetings are people with a grounds pass, and online meetings are open. But he's
one more week to be in person.
I just would like to make one comment. Let's not forget the corporate nature of our club. Although I believe in inclusion, and I wouldn't mind it, maybe, but I don't think we should encourage too many people to come on board. We want our members to be active. Who knows what kind of personality this person is. I mean, like I said before, as an infrequent guest, I have no problem. But, with any kind of regularity, and once we go in person, it's out of the question anyway. So I would encourage it up to a certain point.
Well, actually, we used to welcome members of any Toastmasters club to come to our meetings at the VIC, and this guy's a DTM.
Well, I mean, I haven't found proof that he or she is a DTM, and the problem is then always getting people into the building.
No, previously we had people members from other clubs coming in person. That was a different story.
Agreed.
So we had it, I think, 3 times, and they gave actually as guests a speech. You remember that? In previous years, we had that. And in a hybrid meeting, as you said, there is a security issue, but also somebody was barging into a meeting without being invited.
Well, if you decide in favor, I'll send this person, whether it's male or female, a link to the Zoom, which reminds me of something. Is this Zoom number that Tom provided going to be the one we use in the future? Or are we sticking with the old one?
No, we have our own Zoom number.
That's my question. It wasn't clear to me. Are we going to stick with that?
No, this is a one-time number, basically, just for this meeting.
Okay.
And actually, I would encourage to do it this way because it's more secure, because you have to know the number to be able to join. If we use the same number every time, it's easier for other people, even for those that we maybe not want to admit that they just crash the meeting. So there are pros and cons. It's easier to use the same number, but it's also more of a security issue. Yeah. And yeah, the way I normally set up meetings is with a new ID. Well,
the only problem is that's what gets posted on Easy Speak. So if you make any changes, please let me know.
But Thomas, can we also have a password on it? Because if we have a password and we just know the members, they know the password, nobody can enter by seeing from the Easy Speak.
Yes, we could do with a password, but as you might have seen from practice, for some people it's already difficult with the ID. So ID plus password, I think it will take us even more time until everybody is in. So yes, there are pros and cons. Anyways, right now in Zoom, it's not possible to do without waiting room. So nobody comes directly in. You first end up in the waiting room and then you are admitted. So that's one part of security. And it's actually seated in Zoom. And right now you have to have either password or waiting room. You cannot do without it.
That's true.
I just wanted to show you what I found. I mean, there was quite a few different sites depending on which club I clicked on. I clicked on his membership in the Vision Toastmasters, and you can see there the number of other clubs that he's a member, and it goes on and on. So I just wanted to share that with you.
I don't have a problem letting him join the hybrid meeting that we do on Tuesday. It's just strange to me that people have so much time to join other meetings online. And you always worry because, you know, if he wants his in and I'm using a work computer as the hub for the hybrid meeting, are they experts out there? They could upload a virus to the agency? Because I only use an agency at laptop. That's what I'm afraid of. You know, look where he's coming from. No, not to be any, you know, how would I call that? It's a nice word. I don't want to stereotype, but I have to be careful where we let people in from because the agency is so strict. I will use the guest Wi-Fi, like I said, but I don't know what experts can do once they're into a computer that's connected to the agency. So.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I think it's probably not so unusual that other people go to other clubs. I remember Alois used to do it for a couple of times when the lockdown started. He also visited other Toastmaster clubs. So actually, it's nice. Apparently, we look attractive enough so that people visit us.
The strange thing was that this Toastmaster entered the meeting at the end.
You mean this crazy Prince guy?
And yes, which, you know, when you come as a guest, you come to a meeting, you sign in, take a role, or be a guest, fine. But it was very strange and a bit scary for me as well, from a security point of view, that somebody is just barging in at the end of the meeting when we have actually already closed the meeting.
I personally think it was very rude, and I didn't like his attitude.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
I didn't like his attitude, but with people connecting from all around the world, time zones do get confusing. I've attended meetings an hour later.
He's in Europe, Lily. He's in Europe. He's in Luxembourg.
True.
Okay.
Well, it was actually our fault for letting him in because we thought it was Tristan because he was on vacation and that he was just being silly calling himself the prince. Yes. So, and Aishan was next to me. He kept saying, throw him out, throw him out. And I wanted to throw him out, but I thought, oh my God, how does that look? The IC Toastmasters were supposed to be representing the UN, and we throw out this poor guy. But then he sent a very strange email to Maria Teresa, right?
Yeah.
Called us an all-female. What did he say, Maria Teresa?
He found we were not inclusive enough, and that appeared to be an all-woman group.
He didn't see you, Eshan.
Okay,
It was
I was
kooky.
excluded,
It was a
so.
kooky day. What can I say? We just have to laugh at it now. Let's not worry about it. And if the other guy from, let's just say the District 98 guy that wants to join, if he joins on time, let's let him come. But these, jumping on the train at the last station, not happening, because it was more disturbing than anything.
Well, that's basically isn't that the decision of the Zoom master?
Yeah. And that was Eshan next to me. We did it, Eshan or Tom. It was our fault. So I take full responsibility and accountability for letting this kooky guy in. So we just thought Tristan was going to come in and say something funny and show, himself on the beach in Spain or wherever the hell he was. But that we learned our lesson, and it's okay now. So the last thing I have for the agenda, and then Maria Teresa, I'll hand it over to you, so we don't go too far in. It's already 20 of. Is the event on Thursday. I'm so excited. It's looking very good. As you know, I'm going to go to headquarters on Thursday and Friday, and I'm going to take the roll-up that says BIC Toastmasters. The owner of the Schreiber House has given us a beautiful, they call it he has a funny name for this area. It almost looks like a mini stage outside. So it's under an awning, so there'll be some shade, and it's outside, so nobody's breathing on over anyone. About 20 people have confirmed, but there's always those people that don't accept. So I will count one more time, and if they're staff members, I'm going to personally call them. As you know, all the drinks are being paid for. I've already received a nice, generous transfer into my account from Brigitte to cover everything in cash. I'll provide all the receipts. I started a funny thing. I'm labeling. When you get to your table, you're already going to have hanging on your bottle in front of you. One's going to say Traubensaft, and then if it's sparkling water, already Weiss gespritzt, or the regular water. So that's on the table, but then we're going to also order the Bordels, the good wine, so that people don't spritz the good wine. So I'm going to be really strict, like, don't spritz the good wine. It's already spritzed for you, the Schrankwein. And then, of course, Amdudler and things like that if people want extra. But reasonably priced, so it's not going to be over the amount that Brigitte gave me. And I think it's a nice thing because we haven't done anything since December of 19. So I'll open it up. We're going to just allow Tristan to give one speech. And there's a funny gag present that Melissa organized for us. And it's €6 per person from the XCOM. So I think we can afford that. And he's been a great president and did everything with Zoom and all that stuff for us. And so I don't know what you did for anyone else that left as president. Tom, did they ever do anything for you? Maybe we can have Tom speak too. You were president for 2 years, but you're not leaving the country, so that's
exactly. So I'm still there, so there's nothing to celebrate. You don't get rid of me, so there's nothing to celebrate.
No, we're not celebrating. I just wanted to let you all know, if you haven't responded, just accept the meeting invite, so I have a head count, and come if you want dressed traditional, because I'm going to wear a dirndl, so don't mix me up with the waitress. And then that's all I wanted to say for today. And if Maria Teresa or anyone else likes to add anything before Gordana and Tom have to go.
I'd like to add something. I have created hybrid meetings till the end of the year, and I will keep them as such as hybrid with the Zoom number that's in there at present, okay? I note that the second meeting of October is on the 26th, which is the Austrian National Day. And although I'm no longer working at the IEA, I seem to remember that was also a holiday. So could somebody, at least who is a working person, please send me the list of the official agency holidays? And then we have to decide, we don't hold a meeting 26. On an Austrian holiday, or we do?
Yes, 26 is it's a IEA it's a UN holiday too.
Yeah. Okay. It's a national holiday, a national one. People are out.
Do you
I think we should cancel that one. We should cancel that one. And if you guys want, we can have it on the Thursday the 28th. We can make it funny like that, whoever wants to, or we just skip it. It's up to you all. We can do a vote again at the meeting on the 12th of October.
Okay. All right.
Because I mean,
Second,
it's really.
okay, but can somebody please send me, at least for 2022, the list of the official
I have it in
agency
front of me.
holidays
I have it
that I
right
need
in
to
front of me.
picture?
It's right here.
Okay, well, that doesn't help me, Melanie. Let's move
I'm going to
ahead.
send you this.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you that.
Yeah, for 2021 and 2022. Second thing is this incredible list that Inez compiled and sent out yesterday evening. I think is much praise due to you. That was certainly not so easy. The only problem I realized looking at it is a lot of this stuff is obsolete. Now that we have moved over to Pathwords, we don't have competent communicator, competent leader, advanced, blah, 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 blah. Although I might mention on a more maybe selfish level that I never got a pin when I got my advanced communicator silver or gold. So if any of those could be sort of siphoned off, I would gladly take one of those. Other than that, I fear that most of the things, at least in that inventory, are not going to really be usable.
So we'll give them out to those who
Can
have
I
them.
make a
And then
point
we'll
about
bring them
Inez,
home.
any feedback on that?
Before everybody leaves, can I make a point about the pins, etc., and documents which are there? With regard to the new members, I think we could use also the meeting on Thursday to welcome the new members. I do not know who will be there, and give them a pin. For example, give them a pin. And I would ask Rina, because I will not be on Thursday in the VIC, I would ask Rina to pick up the pins, if possible, please.
Great idea. Rena and I will do that and make sure we bring them.
So
Because I'm going to drive up.
Right.
And we'll get all the members that are new should get one. For 20 and 21, any new members.
Okay.
That means Gordana, you, Aishan, I mean, people on the XCOM too.
Right.
I don't need one. I have one that says president. I'm going to hand it over.
At the same time, Maria Teresa, do you have an idea who has finished what? Because I think we could also award them with a pin. I don't know whether they have reached the level of competent communicator or competent leader.
It's phased out. It doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, but
we still have the pins, so we're going to give them out and say, you know, this is what are we going to do with them? Like you're getting one, Maria Teresa, and however many pins we have, I want to get rid of those and have a new stock. Bring them all.
I looked it up in the list. There is it's not very clear to me what the new pins or the new awards are for people who have finished a couple of projects in Pathways. Do you have an idea?
Yes, but I think
Toastmasters International.
I think.
That's beautiful.
Just a moment.
Inez, they do get rewarded, but I understand at least, and I have not gotten one. Maybe Nicole knows more. They get badges.
Yeah, they're virtual.
I didn't get anything.
Everything is virtual. Yes.
A virtual badge? Did you say, Lily?
Yeah, you can even present a badge yourself to somebody else who did a good job. Anybody can present badges in Pathways, but they're all virtual.
You know, I think for the leader, for the new members and the current members, why don't we find a way to award them with some pins on the basis of certain criteria?
Yeah, instead of throwing them away.
Because it's sorry?
Instead of throwing them away.
Yes. There are a number of these pins and we paid money for it and they have not been used. Okay, Corona was standing in our way.
Just
probably.
be aware that Toastmasters doesn't approve of us using the old logo. They've got a copyright issue and they said they would even sue us when we had somebody from the committee higher up at a training meeting for the president.
Okay, can we get back to Inez's suggestion? Because that was actually on my list too. Madam President, it occurs to me we have not had an induction ceremony.
Yes, that's what I mean.
You know, induction ceremony. Were you properly inducted into the club?
I mean, I think I was, because I was at your Christmas party in 19, and that was when I actually.
An induction ceremony is usually something that's conducted by the president, where the new members get the pin, and they also repeat the Toastmaster promise.
No, Tom, you did not do that for me. Tom, you're in trouble. You're
Okay,
not a
so
good president.
on Thursday, do you want to have an induction ceremony too?
Yes, I'm just going to do, everyone should stand up, and you and I can talk after this, Maria Teresa, private phone call about what I can look up to say to induct 20 and 21 new members.
By the way, how are we going to identify that?
I mean, I think between Inez, myself, and you, we can spot out the new members.
It's not so easy to find on Easy Speak and not so easy to find on Pathways.
No, but we can, the people who will
We
be
can
there
figure it out
should
by
be
the
able to
payments.
figure it out. To come
And
back
names,
to
just names.
to come back to one point Maria Teresa made, whereby she said that some of the documents and folders are obsolete. What I saw is we used to have for Toastmasters, oops, all these Toastmasters wear different hats, benefits of being Toastmaster. And actually, these are all folders which are not obsolete. And we have, for the new members, no material, no folders to give out. We don't have anything. And I think we really need to maybe have another discussion on this, but I think we owe it to the new members because we also got it when we just entered into the club.
I didn't get it.
Lily, we didn't hear you.
Lily, you talking? Oh.
Ines, I just wanted to say that now with Pathways, Toastmasters is encouraged everything online. People can find anything and everything online. And again, I didn't mean to say these things were outdated because I've not seen what they look like.
But I thought we agreed that we had enough money to buy from Toastmasters a copy, a paper copy of what they offer online, because they do offer, you have to pay for it, but they do offer the paper equivalent of what's online. And we had agreed that we had enough money in the club to buy one copy for the club, and anybody who wants to borrow it can borrow it. Or...
You know, I'm also thinking of the future. There will be a time where we as a club will be in the Rotonde again and give information on what's Toastmasters all about. And then we don't have anything. We cannot really tell people, just go to the website and have a look at it. So we need something in hand, something tangible to use in our displays. It will come. I'm sure about that.
But Ines, Lily sent a question to you, and I agree with her. The inventory is the cupboard which is on the 6th floor in the IAA building. That's what you listed.
I only checked what is in the cupboard in the room, in the meeting room. I didn't go upstairs.
Lily, you mean the gardening club? What was in the gardening club room?
I will be in the VIC, Esha, and I'm not in the VIC today, so thank you for the lunch date, but on Thursday maybe. I will go to A06 with Rena on Thursday, so Inez doesn't have to come in extra, and we'll get all the pins and everything. And if you can get to the Horrigan before 6 o'clock, maybe 10 minutes before, then we can see who gets what. But I'll make a list with Maria Teresa, with Inez, with Nicole, whoever, to see if we can just get rid of the old pins, give out pins, give out a new pin for the new members. And I had ordered, because we had a €50 gift certificate from Toastmasters International, a whole bunch of ribbons. So we're going to be really giving out the ribbons.
It's not that urgent, Melanie, but you weren't a member of the club yet. But before we were in that room, we used to have a room, I can't remember the floor, it was in the other building, UNOF building, where we shared the room with the gardening club. And we had a big cupboard there. And I don't know whether that big cupboard was fully emptied or not.
In the F building.
Yeah.
It was on F10. It was on F10.
Okay.
Lily says F1041. I see what she's written. Rena and I can check it. Rena, let's do that. Rena saying F09. There's a cupboard in the room that we're using now, AO 671, and there's a lot of stuff in there, but I don't know if it's everything. Who did
No,
the?
there's a lot more. There is a lot more in F1041. Now that we mention it, the problem is that the key is administered by the key office, and there are certain people that signed for it, and there was also a password, because actually you can fetch the key yourself in this key safe that is close to security outlet.
Okay. So maybe Tom, you and I can do that?
Yeah, if
Or
I
empty out
remember
that
the
closet?
password, yes. I think that might be difficult. But other than that, I make an appointment and we can also change the people that have access to this room.
Yeah, it would be good to settle that once and for all. And
yeah, well, it has to be changed when people change. So that's. I think maybe Tristan didn't change it because we were only virtual at that time and we didn't think of the room anymore. Yeah.
And talking about rooms, I know that it's not the point today, but it will be the point at one point, is that how long are we going to keep the room on the 6th floor in the agency? But that can be a point for another ExCom meeting, but we have to kind of see forward there.
Nicole, I mentioned that at a previous ExCom meeting, so it should be recorded someplace that I think as long as until the end of the year, we're okay. But you're absolutely right, that has to be followed up. Okay, I have two more things. Can I at least impress upon people that come to the in-person meetings, are we distributing a guest book where we ask people to sign in?
I have to ask Rena.
Pardon me?
Let's ask Rena, because I know that she can't really respond. Maybe she can type it. But there was something floating around at the hybrid meeting last time. We can bring the same book out.
Because it's important that we keep track of our guests, you know, because our potential guests become potential members. If we let these people sort of slip through cracks, we're not doing our job. The other thing I noticed today, good morning, Lily. I noticed you're interested in becoming a member of Toastmasters. I got a message, funny enough, indicating its interest on your part of joining the VIC Toastmasters Club. Was that an April Fool's joke or was that intentional? Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So at least I don't have anything to do there. Okay, that's it for me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I do have one last point. I think in May at our annual general meeting, we promised a financial report. Now, I know that we're in a period of transition now between Brigitte and Tom, but I think before the end of the year, in all fairness to our members, we should have prepared a financial report that they know where their dues are going and that there's some kind of accountability.
Yes.
Yes, didn't we ask Brigitte for this report before she left?
Yeah, we did, but I think she had some health issues, and you know now we're already into September. I just wanted documented and noted that at some point we should produce a financial report and also convey that information to the members.
Maria Teresa, could you kindly just put together some notes which should be included in this financial report, because I think this is where Brigitte has some difficulties, that she doesn't really know what to report on. I mean, if she just reports what we currently have on the account, that's a one-liner and it's not really a report. So maybe you just put together some bullet points which should be included in the report, and that can help her.
Luckily, this club has never had me as treasurer, but I'll try my best, Tom. And I'll send
great. Thank you.
I'll send it to the both of you, okay?
Good.
And
Thanks
good
a lot.
luck. As a reminder, you need shortly to be sending out a reminder to our members to pay the dues.
Yes, I will do.
Okay.
But I think in the report, what has to be and what we never got is the money, the amount which is in the account, expenses, and money coming in. So that we've never had. We don't know how the club spends its money. It's as simple as that.
last
Okay.
year, Tristan and Brigitte did put a report together. You remember? So we could have a look at this report, and that could be used
Where is that?
for
Where is the report?
security. Had
We
yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because that
We
have
had
to
done
be-
a report, and the report had a financial report and more a report with activities.
Activity report. Yeah.
Yes, we could look at it and then see what is included in the financial report for 2020, actually, or 21.
Yeah.
And also what's going to come up, if I remember what Brigitte said, is that we haven't increased the membership fee
Yes.
in Vienna. Although in the United States, I mean, international, they had increased it because we had enough money. But she said at one point we're going to reach a point where we're going to have less and less money, and we're going to have a deficit, so to speak. And that might have to be clear in the report. See what at the international level, what is the membership fee that has to know the amount that has to be sent back to the United States, you know, what we are asking for, and whether we're going towards a deficit if we go on like that, or do we have enough money to support it, or will we have to increase the membership fee at one point? That I think are things that should appear more or less in the report.
Okay. And Carl, you can please make sure that it's one of the items in the report. However, I see it as a risky thing because, of course, we have a reserve, but still, I think it would not be a good thing that we, on a daily business basis, we make a deficit. So I would not try to balance an ongoing deficit with our savings. Just to say that.
Yeah, so that's got to be clear in the report. That's why I'm saying it. You know?
Yeah.
I also remember from a couple of years ago, there was a comment that we should not have too much money on hand, that's also not supposed to be there, that we're not supposed to be a for-profit club.
But don't worry, Marie-Theresa, I'm president now. We're going to spend it all. Don't worry.
Well, we'll probably spend it on postage. Did you tell everybody how much the postage was for what you put in?
The postage to send the stuff that was 50 euros for free from the Toastmasters International was $120 to come to Austria. So I didn't do that. I did $20 within the United States to my mother, and Maria-Theresa is going to meet my mother sometime in October or November to pick up the stuff we ordered. And Inez and I put our heads together. It's mostly very light things too. It's just, it wasn't even any pins. It was just ribbons, right? Right, Inez?
Yes.
Ridiculous. They get you on the postage.
Okay, something about possibly increasing the membership fee. I suggest not to do it. Certainly not the coming year, not the coming 2 years. I'm very happy when I'm just writing to these prospective members and guests where they're asking me how much is the membership fee and how much do I have to pay per month. And very often they say, it's reasonable, I can pay it. And I'm actually so happy. I don't have to negotiate with them. You know, this is the amount we pay, and this is the amount which goes to there, and this is what, you know, I don't give any explanations at the moment to new members, and they are swallowing it perfectly well. So I think, for me, it's an indication that financially it's bearable for them.
I think you're absolutely right. One of the things is the other clubs have to usually pay for a venue, which can get very expensive. And as long as we're meeting in the VIC, we don't have that kind of overhead. So I totally agree with you. And as long as we're doing Zoom, I mean, what does Zoom cost?
Well,
Zoom will not remain forever.
We're getting close to 1 o'clock, and it's an important question. So I suggest that we wait until we get the financial report and we see what's in it, and then we can discuss the question again.
Yes, and right now for financial matters, the most important is the decision on the account, whether we keep it at Bank Austria or we move. I think that's
I'll send you something before the end of the week, Tom.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so why don't we wrap it up because it's already 1, Tom has to go. And we see all of us for sure at latest at 6 o'clock at the Schreiber House
Oh,
in your traditional clothing. Okay,
Melanie,
and then
is
we
it
can always
easy?
discuss there.
Melanie, is it easy to park there or should I take public?
Very, I mean, if you want to drink, take public. The bus lets you off right in front. But parking was great when I went to see the location. It's a residential area. You just need a park shine till 7. So for 1 hour,
Okay.
you'll need to put a park shine, and then after that, it's free parking.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
it's the 19th district, so it's a give or take, and it's very, very warm week. So there could be more people
Yeah.
outside. So if you
I-
have
I-
public transportation near you, take it.
Yeah, I was there
35A
several
bus
times
lets
and
you off right in front of the door.
yeah, there are a lot of high riggers there and it can get a bit crowded.
Yeah. So good luck, everyone, for the rest of the week. See you Thursday, and we'll talk
Thank you.
privately on the phone. Thank you for
Thank you.
attending.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you,
Be well,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.